Hi, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to do an overview of the Benchmade Shootout. I got this knife about 6 months ago on release day, and I have carried it almost every day, and especially every work day. So let me explain to you why I love this knife, my concerns about this knife, my likes about this knife, everything that I have experienced while carrying this knife almost every day for 6 months. For those of you who don't know, the Benchmade Shootout is a dual action OTF knife. Awesome knife function, very snappy, and with the aggressiveness of that button, you will have no problems pushing it out, pulling it back in. And personally, I love this way more than Benchmade's classic OTF, the Infidel, where the button is on the side here or front. This has a glass breaker, which I've seen a lot of use. I'll explain that in a minute. No, I'm not breaking windows. And then a deep carry pocket clip. This one I swapped out for a shiny one, but it's the same shape and everything. What's unique about the Shootout compared to other OTFs is that these handles are made out of carbon fiber plastic polymer. That means this thing is super light. If I remember the specs correctly, I think it's 2.8 ounces, which is super light for a OTF. Most OTFs are aluminum handles. When people first pick up this knife, their main complaint is it feels cheap, and that's because it's made out of plastic. But let me tell you, this thing is tough. I have dropped it. I have honestly almost low-key chucked it, where it like slipped out of my hand and it like hit a wall. Bad day. Anyway, once I got used to the fact that these handles feel like plastic, I loved this knife. I love the fact that it's tough and super light, because honestly, one of my main criteria for carrying a pocket knife every day is that it does not weigh me down. I do not want to carry some huge beefy pocket knife that's gonna, first off, take up too much space in my pocket, and second off, pull my pants down. So this thing is perfect for that. Now, on top of the handles being tough, the blade is made out of CPM Crewwear steel. Now, that's a tool steel, and long story short, this blade is a tough blade. Now, because it is CPM Crewwear, it has to be coated with something because it is more likely to rust than other steels. This is my one complaint about this pocket knife, is the coating on this weird gray coating just gets so dirty. It just literally, you can touch it with your finger and it'll put a fingerprint on it. Now, mine obviously is super dirty because I haven't cleaned it in a while, and I've been cutting boxes. I used it to scrape paint off of the roof of my car. I'm actually gonna clean it real quick, and we'll see how much of that is actual like scratches and how well the coating's holding up. So here I just have some very cheap, basic blade oil that I got. It's specifically for kitchen knives, but basically it's just some plant-based oil, and we're just using it to see if we can get off any of the scratches. The coating does not look half bad. Now I can see some spots where if I should rub a little harder to get the grime off. Probably some goo from cutting open tape on boxes. I'm sure you guys are enjoying this so much. This is just riveting YouTube content. Look at that. Most of it did come off, and I'm pretty convinced that this spot right here, right in the middle there, I could probably get off if I tried a little more. That blade looks pretty good, but I will say this, once I touch it, it's gonna get fingerprints on it all over. Look at that. Just already taking on the fingerprints just like that. Now that we got this blade all clean, I'd like to see what the edge retention is on this, aka we're gonna cut some paper, see what we get here. Now we're getting towards the end of that Tonto edge, towards the edge here. Starting to slow down a little bit. All right, now for the Tonto edge. Ooh, a little rough. Yeah, so that's probably from me just destroying the edge on the on my car when I was scraping off paint. Dumb idea. Long story short, cardboard, it'll stand up against very well. Scraping it against metal, not so much. Now, does still feel very sharp, so despite not cutting paper very well, that'll still cut cardboard very well. Now, I wanted to talk about why I carry this knife every day. One, it's just cool, all right? It's an OTF, completely legal in my state, and it's fidgety, it's fun. Now, this thing is so useful, and I'll tell you why. This glass breaker, I don't break glass with it. I pop open boxes by just stabbing the tape, doing that, and then I don't have to pull out a knife. That's a mild safety concern, plus extra time. Instead, I just pull this thing out, pop open the box, put it away. Super quick. I don't have to use the stupid ceramic box cutter that we use at work. And it's just nice and quick. Pop open the box, fold it, throw it in the recycling. If I need to cut something that just isn't tearing or I can't seem to pop open, boom, this thing's out super quick. Cut that little piece of thing, whatever it is, boom, it's away. Now I can put it away safely and never be concerned about me cutting myself by folding close the knife compared to a folder knife. That is why I love this knife. And honestly, I use this knife more than any other knife purely to pop open boxes with that glass breaker. So that sounds kind of dumb, but I have found this knife so useful for that very reason. Now, a common concern people have about this type of knife is the function. Does it work every time? What if it doesn't work? What if it goes off in my pocket? So let's address that real quick. First off, I have never had an OTF go off in my pocket, and I've also never heard of anyone I personally knew have an OTF go off in their pocket. And I have a couple of friends who also own these, and they love them, they beat the crap out of them, and they've never had them go off in their pocket. So I don't think it's really a concern ever, to be honest with you. I've never been concerned that this is going to go off in my pocket because I've never had one go off and I've never heard of them going off. I have heard of plenty of people have folding knives open up in their pockets. So as far as I'm concerned, this is almost safer. Secondly, the locking mechanism. Is it going to lock properly? Well, I mean, once it's locked, it's not really going anywhere. Got a little bit of blade play because all OTFs do. And then we have one last final concern. What if it misfires while I'm trying to use it? So, as most of you know, you literally just push the button a little forward and you flick it and you're good to go. And the 4 or 5 times that this thing has misfired on me while I'm using it, I literally just go, oh, look at that, and flick it out. And it's good to go again. So those things aren't really a concern. I can understand them being a concern. I can understand it's kind of like having a loaded gun in your pocket. Like, that thing could go off. It's not going to go off, and I will let you know if it ever does. In conclusion, I think people's main issue with this knife is that it feels like plastic and it's super light. My conclusion, it's a great knife. And if you don't want to spend that much money on it, I don't blame you. It's currently going for $320 on the Benchmade website. I think release day 6 months ago it was going for $300, but because of demand, it's gone up about $20. So if you don't want to spend $320 on it, I don't blame you. But if you're looking at a Benchmade OTF, this is the one to get. Don't get a freaking infidel. I hate infidels. Stop simping over them. They actually suck. This thing is what you want. All right, this thing is great, actually useful, unlike an infidel, and the button feels so much better than an infidel. Not to mention, I mean, look at this. I've carried it every day, and the handles look fantastic. An infidel, after this much carrying, would look like a piece of trash, all scratched up and stuff. Also, I hate the chalkboard feel of the infidel. Anyway, I'm done ranting about the infidel and how much I hate it. This knife's great. Buy this knife if you want. If you're concerned about it feeling like plastic, you'll get over it. It's so light and still so tough. You'll get over the fact that it feels like plastic because it does not perform like plastic. That's my conclusion. Thanks for watching. Have a good life. Peace out.